Hello and welcome to This Old Geek. I'm Mike Esker, and in this video I am showcasing my battery-operated Yoda collection. No action figures in here, only battery ops. I've always been a big fan of battery-operated toys ever since I was a kid, and I've always been a big fan of Yoda ever since he was introduced in The Empire Strikes Back, which was the second movie in the original Star Wars saga. Now, I bought all these off of eBay. I try to find the ones as cheap as possible. Doesn't matter to me if they're in the box or not. I look for the ones that need repair, don't work, need some cleaning up. I like to akin myself to an animal rescuer where I take in the strays and the unwanted and just nurse them back to health as best as possible. So I'm going to talk about each and every one of these individually and rate them from my least favorite to my most favorite. I hate saying least favorite because I love all of these, but there are some that have more replayability than others. So let's get started. This little fella is the electronic Ask Yoda, which is the same concept as the Magic 8 Ball, if you're familiar with those. You ask Yoda a question and he answers you in Yoda fashion. Yes, no, or sometimes he doesn't really give you a straight answer.
Force and its wisdom are all around us. Ask you a yes or no question. Sense the force in my left hand. Press it and answer you, I will.
The voice doesn't sound too bad. It sounds pretty close. Sounds like Yoda. So I'm going to ask him a question. Yoda, do you think that this video will get 1,000 views? And then I have to push his hand.
The answer, you see, is no.
Well, that was pretty disappointing, but what can you do? Overall, he looks pretty good. It's a good likeness of Yoda. A little more squatty than what Yoda usually is. I am a little disappointed that his mouth doesn't move. There's no animatronics. His eyes don't blink. His ears do not wiggle. But other than that, I don't think there's much replayability in this. I think, especially for kids, they would get bored with this pretty quick, and then he would just wind up sitting on a shelf. Nobody playing with him. This is another one I'd never seen or heard of before. In the back it says, underneath his cloak, which I'm not going to take off, it says Disney Store London 2014. So I don't know if he's from the Disney Store in London, England, perhaps. But when I got this guy, he did have a few issues. Well, the one eye is kind of messed up. Probably can't see it real good here, but you will later. And also this was broken when I got it, but the seller did make me aware of that before they shipped it, which I appreciated. They tried to fix it, but I wound up having to fix it myself with some super glue. So it works pretty well. All you have to do to activate him is push that button right in the center of his belly there. He is pretty noisy, but it's pretty neat the way that his mouth moves and the lightsaber lights up the way it does. The voice, of course, is the great Frank Oz, who's also famous for doing Miss Piggy. And this is they're sound bites taken directly from The Empire Strikes Back. So overall, this is a pretty decent toy. I like it. So these two, you notice they are identical. They are the same thing. I did buy these individually. I bought them mostly because they were cheap and they needed some repair. They didn't work. And this is interactive Yoda, and it's made by Tiger, which is the same company that made the Furbies. So it's basically the same concept, only he speaks in Yoda's voice and you know, says and does things Yoda would do. And the lightsaber here, you flick it, and you get the full lightsaber there. And also put your thumb there. It works. This came with this one, and it was in pretty rough shape. The battery compartments for both were corroded and rusty, and I had to clean them out. The batteries were leaking, of course, and I put new batteries in. I had a hard time getting him working, but I managed to. You notice his eyes here. Apparently a common feature, you might see it on this one too, or a common flaw in these, is that the eyes, they open and close, because this is all animatronic. And it tends to, the latex here tends to split on the eyes here. And I didn't have any proper latex to do this. I just used, I bought a cheap tube at Walmart of the Halloween makeup latex. It's just, you know, latex you put on your face, and I put that on there. It's actually still a little tacky. And, you know, that worked for now. And this guy, as you can see, he's starting to split. But then they have the sensors here. And let me wake him up here.
Did you reveal your Jedi training, my young apprentice?
No, I love that with him. He's all articulated there. The eyes move, the ears move, the mouth moves. And you can do different things. So squeeze in his hand.
Force for knowledge and defense, never for attack.
And
A Jedi must have the deepest commitment.
and also you can cover the sensor. See if he does anything. Yeah, it doesn't look like it. Usually if you cover the sensor, he'll say something. I guess not today. But if you like turn them upside down.
Question I ask, put me down, you will.
Gets a little upset. I mean, you know, it's a good likeness. You know, I like that. You know, he does all the movement. This guy will do the same thing, of course.
Teach you I will the ways of the Force. A Jedi strength flows from the Force, but the Jedi's dark side flows from the Force.
So yeah, the voice is a little
My ally,
odd, but
Force,
it's close. It's a little weird though.
powerful ally is.
But it's pretty neat. There's a number of things you can do with him. Like I said, it was supposed to interact. They're supposed to interact with this, but they do not. Well, that doesn't need to be. They don't.
I am. Now I must.
So that's those guys.
Dark it is.
I like them, but you know, there are better ones. Now this is easily my second favorite. This is, you can see that, Call Upon Yoda, Interactive Storytelling Jedi Master. Now I got this on eBay as well, and you know, he came in pretty decent shape. It was a little dirty. I had to clean him up a little bit. You see the box has some wear on it. But his batteries, just like the other ones, didn't work, so I had to replace those. But I like how he looks. I think he's one of the best looking ones. It's a very good likeness. And comes with an instruction book. And there are different activities. He tells stories, there's trivia, and there's wisdom. Storytelling is he tells the stories about the original trilogy, each one of the movies, as well as the prequels. Trivia is you just you tell him yes or no to the different questions that he asks about the movies. And then wisdom is he just answers you with a yes or no when you ask him a question. You do that by pressing his hands. First you got to lift him up, turn on play. And then you have to press both his hands, and then he wakes up.
My meditation, you have interrupted.
And I like the way his mouth moves and his ears wiggle. A little bit of the arms, and he's a little noisy.
Be mindful of your feelings. Fear, anger, hate, all are paths to the dark side.
Now, he'll say a lot of different things like that. Now, he was made in 2005 by Hasbro. And let's see if I can get him to do an activity.
Tickled me, you have. Squeeze too hard, you have.
He does that sometimes to you.
May the force be with you. Much you have learned, but more there is. Test your knowledge, shall I?
And I think you got to push his left hand.
Always learning. A Jedi is.
There we
Test
go.
your knowledge, we will. Who orders the clone army to turn against the Jedi? Yoda, Darth Vader, Palpatine. Yoda. Darth Vader. Palpatine. Easy for you, this is good. You
And I got it right. So that's the trivia activity.
On what hidden planet does Obi-Wan find?
Now, if you want to do something different, you can just pick them up.
That going somewhere, are we? The Force and its wisdom are all around us. Help me to answer you. It can. A
Okay.
question wish you to ask.
So I must have pushed the wrong hand because he went to a different activity. But anyway, you know, you read the instructions, you can figure out how to do it. But I like this one. He says a lot of different things. Not a whole lot in the movement, but I do like what he does have. I love the way the mouth moves. And like I said, he's one of the most realistic ones. Very good likeness. I love the clothes that he's dressed in. It's closer to the original Yoda. So it's a great toy to play with. I enjoy it very much. So this is the absolute best, at least in my opinion, of the battery-operated Yodas. Legendary Yoda. He was licensed by Disney and manufactured by a company called Spin Master in 2015. As you can see, I bought them brand new in the box, and I don't plan on taking them out. If you really want to see how he operates, there have been dozens of videos on YouTube ever since he was released in 2015. This is no doubt probably the best likeness of Yoda. Everything's proportionate. He comes with a lightsaber and a cane, which you can't really see in this picture here. And he also has different modes, which it shows on the box there. He has the what they call the Force mode, where you can practice using the Force with Yoda. There is the Wisdom mode, where Yoda just simply dispenses some of his wisdom. You do that by placing the cane in his hand, of course. And then there is Warrior mode, where he shows you what he can do with a lightsaber. So it's pretty awesome. This, no doubt, is my favorite. And eventually I might get him out of the box and play with him a little bit. But we'll see. And that is my battery-operated Yoda collection so far. I think I pretty much got all the different battery yachts. If there are any other ones that you know of that I don't have in this collection, please let me know. So I didn't really know about a lot of these until like the last couple of years. I keep looking. Alright, well, you like this video, give it a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel, and I do have a Patreon page if you want to donate a few dollars a month to help support the channel. I'll put the link below in the description. So have a great day.